YouTube, Blank CD here. Got some more Naked UMP gameplay, playing some Russian Operation Metro, and today I'd like to talk about Russian Battlefield 4, or more specifically, any game mode in Battlefield 4, really. With Battlefield 4's, whole new Levolution thing going, I was really wondering, how is it going to affect each game mode differently than others? Because we've seen Conquest and we've seen the new Obliteration game mode, which are both very open game modes. You play on the full map, and they have lots of objectives around the map, but it's not like, Rush, you have two sides pushing against each other, or, like Domination, which is apparently going to be on the big map, so that's why I'm going to talk about it. It's a very close quarters, a very small thing, but we've only seen the large, expansive game modes, and the Levolution works really well with it, but I was wondering, how are they going to balance it for the rest? Because, imagine playing, on the size of, a close quarters map, around the Destroyer on Paracel Storm, then halfway through the game it comes through and it literally crushes half of the map. But then I was thinking, the Domination, I think, is going to take place probably on that center island. I don't know, it seems like a better place to have a focused amount of combat. But if that's the case, then there's not going to be Levolution. So, what if Domination just doesn't have any Levolution? Or some maps do, some don't? I mean, obviously there'll be all the micro evolution, but I mean the big cinematic event. Now, I'd like to talk about Rush. I'm not so much worried that it's going to be balanced, because Rush also, takes place on a large map. But I was thinking, with, the big cinematic Levolutions, I really, really hope that they're tied with the MCOMs. Like Siege of Shanghai, what if instead of MCOMs, you have to blow up two of the pillars, and then the tower falls? How cool would that be? Then, the next set could either be, maybe they'll be in the rubble or something. I don't really know how they would do Paracel Storm, since the Destroyer's way out by a windmill, but I think it'd be really, really cool if the stages of the Rush actually caused the Levolution rather than something else. I think that would be cool, but at the same time, it would also be cool if they were affected by it, but just it was different. For instance, Siege of Shanghai, the points weren't on the tower, but destroying the tower would make the approach to getting to the objectives different. I don't know, I could see it either way, but regardless, I think the Levolution is going to make Rush one of the coolest game modes now. I mean, Conquest is going to be sweet too, with, the changing flags and stuff, but I think Rush is going to be amazing. Now, another thing I'd like to talk about involving Rush is a two-sided Rush mode. I know other people have talked about this before, and I really would like to see this in Battlefield 4, because there's just so many things that are really cool about it. If you don't really know what I mean, it's basically, how currently in Rush, one team attacks and one defends, but imagine if both teams had sets of MCOMs, so it starts at, say, the center of the map, and they both have two different sets of MCOMs off to the side. And so it's if you imagine Metro, they both be on either sides of B, and then when one team takes one, the next set down farther spawns. And so what happens is that rather than just one team being aggressive and one just camping out being defensive, both teams have to make choices about whether to be aggressive or to be defensive, because if your entire team goes and pushes their MCOMs and your whole team is sitting there, then you don't have anyone defending your MCOMs, and someone from their team can go plant the bomb on your MCOMs. And so it kind of, in Conquest is kind of the same thing, where you go cap a flag and then everyone leaves, and then, the enemy maybe just sneaks in, and I don't know, I think it'd be cool because it would add in those elements of using the map really tactically into Rush. And also, I think it would solve a whole bunch of other problems, because a lot of the times when you go into a Rush game, you select Rush, you get in, and say you're on the defending team, but oh man, I really want to be attacking right now. A lot of people don't care, usually I don't care, but sometimes you just want to play either the attacker, or sometimes you just want to defend. And when you're on the other team, the whole time, if you want to be attacking and you're just sitting there defending, the whole time you're just kind of meh, I could be attacking, but I'm stuck on this team, or you're trying to switch, and then, you know, usually the attacking side always has the bigger team, you know, because I think generally people like attacking more because it's a lot more hectic and aggressive. And so then the attacking team always has more people because everyone wants to be on it, and then the attacking team gets bigger and has people more enthusiastic, and so the attacking team usually wins. And so with both teams getting to do both, I think that would solve that problem completely, because then you can choose if you want to play defensive or offensive, and you could switch between it even in a game. I mean, like, if you think about Conquest, you know, sometimes you defend a point or sometimes you're attacking a point, and it can change within the game. And not only that, but I think it would also solve the problem where, you know, when you're in a rush game and the defensive team is just, they're winning by a lot. Like, the offense just can't do anything. Like, you know, you just can't even make it out of spawn, so everyone just starts sniping and gives up. And it's sort of like a spawn camp almost when, you know, the defensive team's doing good. And I think that would solve that, because then when the defensive team's doing good, if they had the option to attack, then then they'd also be attacking, and then in doing that they'd also expose their base more. And so I think it would eliminate stalemates. And if you guys have ever heard of the game League of Legends, that game plays out similar to where both teams have a base to defend and attack the enemy base. And that sort of game mode is really interesting to watch in competitive play, because it's not as one-sided as, you know, just a rush game where there's attacker and defender, because then both teams are doing both, and it makes it very intriguing to watch. And since the developers really seem interested in esports, I think it could be a great competitive game mode. So if you like this video, don't forget to like and comment, and if you'd like to see more, make sure to subscribe. I'll be making videos on pretty much a daily basis now. And as always, YouTube, keep it Kodo.